Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you a card jumping off my desk. Here to bring you your June 2017 general readings, and thank you so much for joining us here today. And welcome to any newcomers who may be with us for the first time. We'll get the thank yous up front before we start. As always, thank you for the likes, shares, subscribes, all the support, feedback, and comments. You guys are great. Keep them coming. Thank you to my regular clients as well for being so great, especially lately, with your consistent feedback and how our readings continue to play out in your lives. And thank you in general to those of you who continue to reach out for personal one-on-one readings and keep me so busy doing those. It's an honor and a pleasure and a blessing to be able to read for you. And I'm grateful for the trust that you place in me to do so. And if any of you are interested in a personal reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you can click on that About or Description button on my YouTube channel's homepage, which will give you a little more information and my email address. You can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I do a variety of readings: love and romance, compatibility charting, year overviews, career work and finance, gift readings, channeled messages, and so on. Current turnaround time is anywhere from a few days upwards of 2 weeks, but since I do readings full-time, 6 days a week, I'm usually able to get back with you pretty quickly and almost always schedule a reading live or recorded within a 2-week period of time. So if you're interested, send me an email and we will go from there. Now make sure to check your rising and your moon sign as well, because these are general readings, of course, and there are many, many of you watching. And so of course they're not going to resonate the same, mean the same thing to the same degree for everyone watching. And when you check your rising and your moon sign as well as your primary sun sign, it gives you additional insight and clarity. And one of the others during some readings may resonate a little more predictively for you. So try to watch all three if you know them and if you can. So since we're doing the beginning of the month generals, I will be doing 8 cards, 2 cards for each week with an additional 9th card from the bottom of the deck for overall energy and guidance. So moving right along. This reading is for Aries, the fire sign of Aries, Aries the Ram, for June 2017. Let us see what this month of June has in store for Aries. Our adventurers, our restless ones, the babies of the zodiac, Aries the Ram, fire sign of Aries for June 2017. Aries, June 2017. Okay, Aries. We begin with the Six of Cups, followed by the Knight of Pentacles. We have Judgment, followed by the Queen of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, followed by the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the Lovers, followed by the Ten of Cups. Really a nice reading, Aries. Oh, from the bottom of the deck, we have Temperance as overall energy and guidance. A nice reading, Aries. It feels like you are in decision-making mode, which is interesting that you're considering. There's movement. There's definitely movement this month. In fact, I think some of you may be actually traveling or taking a trip, and a trip which may decide something else in the future, or a trip during which you're going to be deciding something that's going to affect your future. You may be going to, I'm kind of getting that somebody's going to spend some time in a place and trying to see if it's realistic for that to be a place that they end up living in or retiring to or something of that sort. That's kind of specific. But definitely there's this energy of also stuff, you know, turning over in the back of your mind, trying to make a significant decision that's going to affect how the rest of your future plays out. And some of you, it's a future with another person, a romantic relationship perhaps. And others of you, it may not include a romantic relationship at all, because there's so many of you watching. The story is going to split off, although, as I always say, the energy fundamentally remains the same. And it's interesting because I've gotten this same kind of thread of energy from a lot of the June, beginning of the month June generals I've done. Contemplation energy, trying to make up your mind, trying to make a decision on how to move forward. And for a lot of you, the decision has moral significance as well. Okay, Aries, so let's begin. We find ourselves at the beginning of June 2017, although I am recording these the last week of May, with the Six of Cups, followed by the Knight of Pentacles. So the Six of Cups, water is the element which governs this suit, and cups is manifest in the emotional area of our life. It's the emotional aspect of the tarot. It's about, and this is also the area of our life which includes relationships. So the Six of Cups is a card primarily associated with the past, reminiscence, nostalgia, looking backwards. It can represent the long ago past, like childhood. It can also represent a naive or childlike way of looking at something, like through rose-colored glasses. And it can also represent travel connected to the past. Some of you may be going back to your roots of origin, traveling back to see parents, relatives, where you grew up. And I got in the very beginning a very specific message that somebody is taking a trip back home, and it's a long ways away across water, like to another country. It's where you grew up under the guise of a vacation, a long vacation, but you're really wanting to see if you can still connect enough to actually end up moving back there or retiring there, which is kind of interesting. For others of you, this is just something coming up, an offer, an opportunity, because it's paired with the Knight of Pentacles, that is in some way connected to the past. It could be someone from the past coming back, and there is an offer, opportunity to reconnect with them, whether it's in a romantic way or just in a friendship or a reconciliation way. And for some of you, this may also be an offer or opportunity to deal with something or make a significant decision that has something to do with family, your past. It could even be a family home as well, because we do have the Ten of Cups. Again, there's many of you watching, so the specifics will vary, but the energy remains fundamentally the same. Now, that Six of Cups is paired with the Knight of Pentacles. So Pentacles is earth energy, and this is the area of the tarot that deals with things typically in the concrete world we live in, because it's earth energy. So it's tangible energy of things we can see and touch and feel, or the tangible results of efforts we put into something. Money, finance, property, resources, assets, job, those concrete things that affect us in our day-to-day life. Knights are the bringers, the deliverers of the tarot. They often represent offer or opportunities being brought to you, or you extending that to somebody else. And they can also represent the speed at which a situation moves. The Knight of Pentacles, as a situational speed, would be slower than the other three knights because it's earth energy, but it's very solid and reliable. The Knight of Pentacles is somebody who's going to, the situation's going to move. It may take a little bit longer, but it's going to get there. So the Knight of Pentacles is an offer or opportunity, a tangible one that you can see and touch and feel. And I am getting moving, relocation energy with some of this, an offer opportunity to travel, to go back to see, parents, roots of origin, back home, maybe a vacation of some kind. It could be a family reunion. For some of you, this could be someone from the past coming back. There's an offer opportunity to reconnect with someone from the past. Again, the nature of that connection is going to vary. It could be a friendship, a relative, a past romantic relationship, or dealing with something that has to do with your past, with the family. For some of you, it may even be a family home, or deciding what to do about that, because again, whatever this offer or opportunity is in connection with the past, there's something about it which the decision that you make is going to affect your future. Now, next to that, we have the combination of Judgment, followed by the Queen of Cups. So Judgment is a major arcana card, fingers of the divine, as I like to call them, because major arcana cards do represent those divine energies, God, Spirit, your angels and guides, energies we have no control over. What we do have the control over is the decision on how we're going to react or utilize the energy. Judgment is a card that has it can be a call to action. A decision needs to be made. There's an offer or opportunity, and you need to make a decision as to whether or not you're going to take it, and how it's going to decide the rest of this future. Because I feel like taking the offer or opportunity is going to put you in an environment where you're going to say, I really like this, or I don't like this. I'm going to keep this, or I'm going to let this go, which will decide some important aspect of your future. For some of those, it's going to be where you live in the future, where you end up going back to or retiring to. Judgment also has an air of finality about it. It is a card that asks you to take a step back and look at everything, kind of consider everything, put things in perspective. And if you're making a significant decision, to make sure that you look at everything, spend some time doing that. No spontaneous or hasty, impulsive decisions here, because you're going to set the stage for something for quite some time to come, meaning that whatever you decide, whatever you put into motion or don't put into motion, you're going to have to live with that decision. It's going to stick. So again, careful contemplation, kind of taking a step back and reviewing, looking at all aspects of a situation. What are your options and what are the potential consequences of each path that you could take? Now, judgment is paired with the Queen of Cups, which this combination, it's kind of a similar sort of energy in this spread is what I'm feeling. The Queen of Cups could represent a water sign individual that's significant to you in this situation. It could be a person coming up from the past, or it could be that some of you may be going back home to spend some time to get away in order to make a decision about a relationship with this Queen of Cups individual. It's showing up as a female, but it's a general reading, so it could be male as well. This would be water sign, sun, moon, or rising. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It's cups, so it's that emotional energy. So this would be somebody loving, nurturing, very emotionally connective, very a spiritual and intuitive sort of person too. Always knows the right thing to say, but they're not emotionally immature, because queens and kings represent individuals who have reached the mastery of their suit, the mastery of the energy and the characteristic traits of their suit. So while she is an emotional and loving person, she's grounded in her emotions, and she's emotionally mature as well. She doesn't allow her emotions to control her and rule her life or his life. This card also has a deeper significance just on an energy level. It's a very tender, loving, spiritual card, and it's a card about our feelings. When the Queen of Cups comes up, it's a sign of the universe asking you, almost insisting that you touch base with your feelings and make sure how you feel about something, what you feel, how you feel about something, before you make a decision, and make sure that that decision, that choice that you make, is in alignment with your feelings as well. The difficulty sometimes with having, intuitive hunches and those flashes of insight in the rational world that we live in today, uh, can be very difficult, because it makes it difficult for us to articulate how we feel, to actually speak how we feel, particularly when it seems to be in conflict with what's in our rational external world. So again, but the decision here, just like for another sign, I can't quite remember which one, whether or not the decision that you feel is right for you may meet with approval from external people or not, it's the decision that you need to make in order to ensure your happiness in the future. This combination of Judgment and the Queen of Cups together is a very strong message to not rush this decision without knowing how you feel about it, and make sure that decision is not overly influenced by external situations or people if they appear to be in conflict with what you feel. Basically, you want to check, this combination of energy says whatever this opportunity, whatever this is, touch base with yourself, make sure, see what it is that you feel about it, and make sure that your choice stays in alignment with that, even if it's not met with approval from other people, or doesn't match the rational external situation, if that makes sense. I'm trying to stumble my way through this. I know what I want to say. Hopefully it's coming out. Now, next to that, we have the Four of Pentacles, followed by the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is another major arcana card. In the upright position, the implication is that it's a stroke of good luck, of good fortune, the wheel kind of turning in your favor. The wheel is always turning, and sometimes it feels like it's turning in our favor, and sometimes it doesn't. It's really all about perspective. But again, external energy, God, Spirit, your angels and guides, we have no control over this energy, and sometimes that can feel kind of scary, overwhelming, or even a bit chaotic. But it does represent potentially good luck, good fortune. But again, I feel like this is the fundamental energy of this reading, while there is movement that's present focused, it's like the offer opportunities coming in for you to make a decision to do something, travel, you know, it's a movement energy. But if you take this opportunity, it's also time for you to make a decision that's going to affect your future. And I feel like this Wheel of Fortune and the Four of Pentacles is about the potential of the potential of how your future is going to be affected depending on the decision that you make. Hopefully this is making sense to you. For some reason I'm having a difficult time articulating it. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is paired with so this is unexpected good news, good fortune, good blessings coming in. But I feel, again, like it hasn't happened yet. It's not guaranteed. It's potential for your future coming in based on the decision that you make. Now, it's paired with the Four of Pentacles, which is earth energy, which is the suit which governs this, which is the element that governs this suit. I don't know what's the matter with me today, Aries. I'm sorry. Hopefully this is an understandable reading because I'm going to post it. Pentacles, job, assets, money. We already went through this. The Four of Pentacles, if nothing else, is a card of stability because the number 4 does represent stability. It can also represent stagnation depending on the cards surrounding it. It's a consistent card. It's a card about holding on. This can represent holding on to, in a financial, monetary, physical sense, holding on to stability that you are in the process of building up, because we're still pretty early on in the path here. We're at the 4. It represents that you've built a pretty good solid foundation and you're holding on to that. You want to hold on to that. And it could be that this decision that you're making, the opportunity that you have, and the opportunity you have to make a decision about this is about how to hold on and continue building onto the foundations of something you have. And even though it's a minor arcana card paired with the major arcana card, the Four of Pentacles does help sort of bring a little bit of balance or mitigate the somewhat chaotic, unpredictable energy of the Wheel of Fortune. And paired together, it can, just in a pure energy sort of way, whatever this decision is that you need to make, again, about being in alignment with yourself, regardless of whether you feel this decision is going to meet with other people's approval or not, or match the rationale of a situation. This combination of energy is almost about having a stubborn resoluteness that you're going to make the decision that's best for you, regardless of whether it meets with approval or not. And I feel like when you do this, even if you make a decision to do something, to move, to relocate, or to continue building on a relationship with somebody else that I feel you're pretty emotionally connected to, even if you aren't ready to admit it yet. I feel like for those of you for whom this has that relationship element, I feel like you may be falling in love with someone, but you may not be ready to admit that yet. So whatever decision you make, even if it doesn't meet with other people's approval initially, I think as time plays out, it will be, and actually people will end up praising you or respecting you for it in the end. Now, at or towards the end of June 2017, we have a beautiful, absolutely beautiful combination of cards. We have the Lovers, followed by the Ten of Cups. But again, more decision-making energy here, because the Lovers fundamentally can represent needing to make a significant decision. But it also represents, again, the strong moral thread that in this situation, which is actually kind of rare, there is a right and a wrong path here. Most of the time, I'm not a big believer in there's a specifically right path or a specifically wrong path, because any path that we learn lessons on, even if it's challenging or painful and we wouldn't make that same choice twice, has value. But the Lovers represents that your future is going to be and the Judgment card, your future is going to be kind of set based on what you decide here. So make sure, regardless of what other people may tell you or the circumstances may dictate, you make the decision that's best for you, that's in complete alignment with who you are, with what your moral foundation, your personal integrity is, how you've chosen to live your life, because that is going to decide your future. Nobody else gets to do that or live that or have the consequences of your decision but you. I feel like for a lot of you, I feel like for a smaller number of you, this is specifically one about moving and relocating and how it's going to affect a primary relationship that you've you've built. And maybe it's not a long relationship yet. Maybe it's only been a few years, but this decision is okay. If I move, how's it going to affect that? So are they going to move with me? Do I continue to develop and grow and build on this relationship? And I know that's very specific, so it's probably only going to resonate with a few people. For others of you, it's not that. It could be, this decision making is about something else, which is going to decide your future, where you live, what you do, perhaps changing careers, perhaps making some significant financial decisions or decisions for you and your family, perhaps where your family is going to be. Some of you, there may be some property issues here with this 10 of Cups, because 10s represent the end of a cycle, the full achievement of something. And this 10 of Cups is, marriage, home, blessings, but it can represent a family home as well. So this could be a decision on moving family or moving back to family and leaving some people behind or not leaving some people behind. Again, the circumstances are going to differ, but the energy remains the same. There's the significant decision making that's going to affect more than just your life. And you absolutely, Spirit is saying, in order to ensure your future happiness, and I feel like it's almost like the end of life future happiness, or the last third of your life, you need to make sure that what you set into motion is in exact alignment with what you feel is the absolute right thing to do, even if other people don't agree with you. It feels very, very important for you a little ways down the road. So balance, considering everything very carefully here, touching base with yourself, getting in alignment with yourself, and making any significant or definitive decisions, particularly those that concern your future, your home, your family, your primary relationship. Make sure that they are in alignment with how you choose to live in here. Overall energy and guidance is Temperance. This is kind of the same thing. Temperance is about being in perfect alignment, being in perfect harmony with yourself, particularly on an inner, mental, emotional, spiritual level. My analogy for the Temperance card is picture a seesaw or a teeter-totter. When you're not in temperance, when you're not in alignment with yourself, you're at the mercy of other people's opinions, feelings, the weather, somebody coming along and swinging the teeter-totter up and down, and you can lose your balance and fall off. But when you're in the middle, perfect balance, holding opposite extremes in perfect balance in unison, you know what's right. You may not like other people not agreeing with you, but you know what's right. You know what's in alignment with yourself. So you may wobble, but you don't fall down. You stay balanced, because you know that in the end, your own happiness is dependent on the decisions that you make, because nobody else, if you make a decision that's going to affect your life based on what somebody else feels, even if your gut instinct tells you otherwise, you're still the one that has to live the consequences of that, not the other person. So make sure that whatever significant decisions that you make moving forward, Aries, you consider carefully and make sure that you're in a place of temperance and alignment with yourself in making them. So hopefully this reading has made sense, at least to most of you watching this. It'll be another interesting one to see the feedback on. And for those of you for whom this does resonate predictively for you, feel free to let me know that. And if you're not comfortable doing it in the comment column of my YouTube channel, feel free to email me and let me know, because I do enjoy reading those very much. So Aries, that pretty much wraps up your June 2017 general reading. Of course, I'll be doing the mid-months in a couple of weeks. And within the next week, I'll be continuing ththose short love snapshots as well. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading, click on that about or description button, and feel free to email me at MAGGIE, the number 1, MCGUIRE@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. I will see you all again soon, hopefully. And until then, Aries, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.